In the world of coaching, it's well understood that we don't lead our client. We allow the client to lead. But we should be a guide to the client. What exactly does that mean, to allow the client to lead and we act as the guide? I'll explain in this video. As I've mentored many coaches over the years, I've reinforced this idea with them that the client always leads in the session. The client decides what will be the topic of the session. The client decides in which direction should we go in the session. The client decides how the session is going in terms of working towards reaching their objective. The client decides if they would like to spend more time talking about a topic that has emerged in the session that is not exactly the original outcome. The client decides over and over again where the session goes. Even at the very end, you might ask the client, how would you like to wrap up? And they lead the wrap up with their own thoughts. So we regularly allow the client to lead. That's pretty well understood, not that it's easy. Newer coaches often find this difficult because they believe that the client has come to them expecting them to lead through the session. But that's not exactly right. It's not that clients expect the coach to lead. It's that they don't necessarily know how coaching works if they've not been coached before. So they might think that that's how coaching works. But as you allow them to lead, they will begin to understand more deeply how coaching works and that they actually are in the driver's seat throughout the conversation. So trust the process and allow the client to lead. This, however, doesn't mean that you don't have a key position in the conversation, and that is the position of guide. So I like to let coaches know that while the client is leading, you are guiding. You're guiding them throughout the conversation to stay focused on forward movement towards the objective. You guide them as to how to open the conversation by settling on a topic, determining its significance, thinking about how we might measure success by the end of the session. We guide them to then move into the body of the coaching session. We guide them to think more deeply, to think harder, to dig further into an issue to really understand what's going on here, what's the real problem, what's the big challenge. We guide them to not move too quickly in a conversation. We guide them to then think about what might get in the way of success. What have you learned about yourself? So as they're leading all the way through, we're also guiding all the way through. Without our guidance, they wouldn't know how to get to the end of the session. They wouldn't know when it's time to start wrapping up. They wouldn't know when it's time to examine what have they learned about themselves and what actions might they take and what would they learn about themselves by taking those actions. So you play this crucial role as a guide in parallel with their leadership position. When you learn to navigate the coaching conversation well as the guide, they do a better job of leading because now they have these guide rails that keep them on track in the conversation. And when they go off the track a little bit, you guide them back into the proper direction towards the objective. So you play this really important role, and it doesn't mean that you're leading. So you don't have to feel this inner conflict because guidance is necessary and crucial to an effective coaching session. I hope this distinction between leading and guiding is clear to you. If not, post your questions in the comments. I'd be happy to further explain as necessary. If you have your own thoughts about these dual roles in an effective coaching session, also please post them in the comments. I read and reply to all comments. And if this has been helpful to help you become more confident as a newer executive coach, then please like it, comment on it, and share the video with others. And of course, subscribe to the channel. Now, you can go further with me if you feel that these videos have been very helpful to you on this channel and you really appreciate my teaching style. I think you'll really appreciate joining the Center for Executive Coaching and being able to learn with me in a much more comprehensive fashion. I teach online classes most weeks of the year that are available to anyone around the world with an internet connection. I also lead in-person seminars several times a year here in Northern California, which is my home base. And I also run mentor coaching programs for the Center for Executive Coaching as one of a team of highly qualified mentor coaches. So there are many ways to learn from me. The first step is to review the content on the centerforexecutivecoaching.com website. You can also review content and other helpful resources for coaches on my blog site, BAECexecutivecoachtraining.com. There you can schedule time with me to talk about the various training options that we offer to suit different paces, different budgets, and different timelines. So whatever your interest, we probably have a program to suit you. I look forward to hearing from you sometime in the future that you'd like to join the Center for Executive Coaching. Thank you very much.